after Kennedy forced out the CDC director, Dr. Susan Menarez, over vaccines. In fact, we've got new reporting tonight because we have learned that Menarez was repeatedly pressed by Kennedy to agree to new potential vaccine restrictions. One person present for those discussions is the man Kennedy picked to replace her, his deputy Jim O'Neill, all of it plunging America's premier public health institution into chaos. Kathleen Sebelius is out front now. She is the former Health and Human Services Secretary under then President Obama, also the former governor of Kansas. So, Secretary Sebelius, you come at public health from both of those perspectives. You just heard top Trump aide Stephen Miller call Kennedy a public health expert and a crown jewel of this administration. What do you say to that?
Well, Erin, thanks for having me. I think that Secretary Kennedy described it best himself when he said no one should take his health advice. I think that those were very wise words. This is a man who has spent a career making money, oversuing vaccine companies, trying to assert facts that just are not backed up by any scientific evidence, and mixing science with really quack theories in a way that can be dangerous for American families and American children. Secretary Kennedy has wholesale fired the Vaccine Advisory Committee, people who were volunteered, vetted carefully, made sure that there were not conflicts of interest, are known for their expertise. They're just gone and maligned by Secretary Kennedy on the way out the door, suggesting that they were riddled with conflict, which is just blatantly false, and now has replaced them with a handful of folks hand-chosen who have already begun to assert really dangerous theories in the vaccine committee. The firing of the CDC is just totally dangerous and uncalled for. Susan Menarez is a longtime public health official. She refused to sign on to dangerous guidelines, and she refused to follow directives to fire her top leadership, and for that she was removed.
So, you know, to your point about the vaccines, the danger here, Secretary Kennedy says he has a report coming out very soon that's going to show that, quote, certain interventions are causing autism. It's an incredible statement, obviously, because the science on the subject has not yielded any such thing. But when you say certain interventions, people may say, well, what does that mean? Well, just to be clear here, Secretary Kennedy in the past has been very clear about what interventions he believes causes autism. Here's him in his own words.
I do believe that autism does come from vaccines. But I think most of the things that people believe about my opinions about vaccines are wrong. All I've said about vaccines, we should have good science. We should have the same kind of testing, placebo-controlled trials.
And he went on in another interview to say that there was 45 peer-reviewed studies that show that the autism epidemic is coming from those vaccines. All right, that's a quote from RFK Jr. What's at stake here?
Well, I think, Erin, at stake is the health and well-being of American families, the health and well-being of children. Parents want to follow good advice to figure out how to protect their children from dangerous infectious diseases, from diseases like polio, which was really eradicated in the United States, from measles, which can cause blindness and death. That's something that I think every parent, Republican, Democrat, in a red state and a blue state, wants to do, be a good parent. The problem is that the Vaccine Advisory Committee are the ones who recommend the guidelines, who should get a vaccine, how frequently, what age groups are most at risk, and then state governments across this country adopt those guidelines. If the guidelines from the outset are suspect, if they're not based on real science, it leaves parents in a total quandary. And I would say the best advice is talk to your own doctor. Make sure you're getting the best advice. And unfortunately, you may have to just stop following what the CDC is saying.
which is a pretty horrible situation to be in, just as a country. I think everybody can agree with that. Nobody wants to be in that situation. Secretary Sebelius, thank you so much. I appreciate your time tonight.
Good to be with you.
And next,
Thank
the president's son with a surprising prediction, one that could make him and his dad a lot more money. And two of the world's most powerful strongmen joining forces with North Korea's Kim Jong-un.
Finding the right insurance in the United States doesn't have to be stressful. At uscoverme.com, we make insurance simple, clear, and affordable. From auto to home, health to life, we help you compare top-rated providers all in one place. No hidden fees, no endless forms, just quick, transparent options tailored to your needs. Whether you're protecting your car, your family, your home, or your health, we've got you covered. With uscoverme.com, peace of mind is just a few clicks away, so why wait? Visit uscoverme.com today and discover how easy insurance can be.
Dependency on chemical fertilizers. With regenerative farming practices, there's a more sustainable way to cultivate oil palm. Collaborating with smallholders, we use these natural fertilizers. We start to encourage more biodiversity, and the land comes alive. As MSPO makes sustainability a national goal, for me, that's an ideal opportunity to bring our ideas to the larger estates. Almost everywhere where we've introduced these methods, we're seeing higher yields, greener estates, and lower production costs. We're seeing this transformation unfold, and it's happening one farm at a time.
We try to be global and we try to be smart. What I want to hear are authentic voices of people who are passionate or intelligent, and that's the consistency that we try to get at.
Fareed Zakaria GPS, Sundays on CNN.
Now, Israeli airplane overhead. The timing of that overflight was no mistake. We're inside this tunnel inside Bakhmut. Down here, John, down here. 500 days of war have left this town and so many others a wasteland of wreckage and rubble.
It begins again.
Помогите, помогите.
Nina's plea, simple. Help us, help us.
More than 1 million people have fled their homes in southern Lebanon, the Bekaa Valley, and of course here in the southern part of Beirut. We're in a building in the northern end of the Gaza Strip, and what they told us is they're just sleeping outside in the open. How are they going to live without a place to stay?
Inside Africa. See a continent in transformation as trailblazers evolve culture, technology, and industry across Africa and beyond. See how the tourism industry transformed to protect the land and customs of the Seychelles.
We're all about sustainability. We believe it's a way of life. It's not just something that we say.
Inside Africa on CNN in association with Zenith Bank.
On the season finale of My Happy Place,
there's something about Thailand that seemed very welcoming to me.
Simu Liu finds wonder in Bangkok.
Bottoms up, let's do this. Up. I would like a beverage.
My Happy Place with Simu Liu, Monday on CNN.
I'm Rafael Romo in Atlanta. This is CNN.
Tonight, $1 million. Eric Trump making that bold prediction about how much he says Bitcoin is going to be valued at. It's a stunning number. Making the comments at a Hong Kong crypto conference as he delivered an effusive sales pitch for Bitcoin as his family is profiting big time from crypto.
It is the greatest asset in the world. I really believe in the next several years, Bitcoin hits $1 million. There's no question. Buy right now, shut your eyes, hold it for the next 5 years, and you are going to do terrifically well.
That's a 10 times return. I mean, right now, Bitcoin is at $108,000, which is already stratospheric, but he's talking about $1 million. Hong Kong is far from where Eric Trump's sales pitch will end. He and his brother Don Jr., they've been in the Middle East, they've been other places. They're expected to go to crypto conferences in South Korea and Singapore in coming weeks. And the Trump family is profiting from all of this. Out front now, senior editor for Forbes, Dan Alexander. And Dan, you've actually looked at the numbers on this. And Donald Trump, how much money has he made, has he cashed in because of crypto and his son's, all-out embrace of crypto?
Yeah, well, so far he's conjured up about $1.5 billion from new crypto projects. And he's also taken his most valuable asset, a $2 billion stake in the Trump Media and Technology Group, and turned that toward crypto. So if you add those two things together, right now you're looking at about $3.5 billion tied to the crypto industry of his roughly $6 billion fortune.
And that is incredible. I mean, it's actually really stunning. Never mind that he used to say crypto was bunk. I mean, just the amount of money that they're making and that his sons are out there, sales and marketing on it, and he's profiting. How much, when you look at how much money he's made, how much money are his kids making off of this?
Well, his kids are making a lot of money too, but in Trump fashion, he hasn't shared the majority with his kids. He still is getting most of the money in these projects. The meme coin, he has what looks like 100% of the family stake. In World Liberty Financial, he has 70%. He shared 30% with the kids, presumably with Eric, Don Jr., and Barron. All of those guys have done pretty well, though. Just on selling the tokens alone, they're at probably roughly $40 million, and there could be much more coming down the line.
It's truly stunning. And what's also interesting about this is that we all know Don Jr. was running the Trump organization, right? Ivanka had a role too at one point, but Eric had never seemed to really make the cut in some ways for Trump. But you say that his embrace of crypto, being a leader on that, has in fact impacted his relationship with his father.
Well, it's interesting. I was talking to Eric in 2017, and he told me at the time that he didn't think that his dad would have been able to be president 4 years earlier because he wouldn't have felt comfortable sort of handing the keys to his kids at that point. But in his first term, he was, but they were really more sort of asset managers. They weren't doing a lot of entrepreneurial things. What you're seeing now here in the first year of Trump's second term is that not only do they have the keys to the car, but they're allowed to drive it as fast as they want. And what they're steering toward is Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and it's made tons of money, not just for their father, but also for them. Surely giving him a lot of confidence, giving him a reason to sort of, it's kind of a coming out party. He's an entrepreneur in his own right now.
Right. And he's just proven that to his father. All right, thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And next, Putin, Kim, and Xi together for the first time. Looks like a team in an effort to upend the world order.
In a divided America,
where do I fit?
You tell me, ask your partner.
Abby Phillip brings all sides to the table.
Can you name one thing you do differently?
The hypocrisy is so rank, folks at home. Classes in session.
To talk about the issues.
Congresswoman, it is false. The answer is zero.
The policies.
What is the Democratic Party about? Can you answer that question?
And the biggest debates to wrap up your day.
I hear what you're saying Trump believes in, but do you think it's a good idea?
Newsnight with Abby Phillip, today on CNN.
To understand the world, you need the truth.
You can see the scale of the destruction as a result of the impact.
It's why we follow the facts, wherever they lead, no matter how far we have to go. From the inside story,
this is where the two leaders will come shortly,
to an outside perspective, to deep in the data, ready for whatever may come.
We've got to get out of the way. There's an incoming strike.
We witness the world, face our fears.
Their lives now are forever changed.
And find wonder in new perspectives and new horizons. Every day, no matter where life is taking you, we follow what matters to you, forging a path to the truth and an understanding of our world.
I'm Richard Quest. I love traveling the world. Broaden the mind, open the heart, and I'm not done yet. It's time to embrace new adventures. This is just what the doctor ordered. Find the fun. Are you buying a goat today? And seize the moments. Look at that in this world of wonder. I'm on my way down. Is there anybody there?
This weekend on CNN, in association with Turkish Airlines.
I'm Melissa Bell in Paris, and this is CNN.
Millions of years of evolution has formed the foundations of our natural world. And now we meet the next generation, harnessing the power of nature to rethink the tech of tomorrow, developing robots that mimic, it's kind of out of control, and decode.
We've only scratched the surface of what we can learn from animals.
The intelligence found in the animal kingdom.
You got this. Keep going.
Join me, Christy Lou Stout, on Tech for Good.
This weekend, in association with Samsung.
I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta in New York, and this is CNN.
Tonight, the death toll in Ukraine rising to at least 25 people following Russia's enormous attack on Kyiv, the second biggest since Putin's war began. It comes as Putin is about to travel to China to meet with his ally Xi Jinping, who's putting on a massive military parade in Beijing. And another crucial Putin ally, Kim Jong-un, who's been providing tens of thousands of soldiers to Putin in the war, will also be there. And it marks the first time that those three strongmen ever have been seen in public together. Will Ripley is out front.
Two of the world's most powerful strongmen, China's Xi Jinping and Russia's Vladimir Putin, greeting each other in grand, opulent pomp and ceremony. President Xi once whispered they were driving history's change together, a rare glimpse into how both men see themselves. Toasting a vision of a new world order, one less dominated by the United States. Years earlier, they were flipping pancakes together. Xi gifted Chinese pandas to Russia. They marked Xi's birthday with ice cream and cake. Sometimes the more reserved Chinese leader even went in for the hug. Just this spring, Xi was in Moscow watching Putin's military parade. Now, the roles reverse. Putin heads to Beijing for Xi's massive parade across Tiananmen Square, side by side once again.
What must this moment be like for Vladimir Putin?
I think he's happy. I think he's happy that he is out on the world stage. He is now with his friends.
But this time, Putin is not just shoulder to shoulder with Xi. Now, North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, joins the picture. Putin's newest partner. They signed a defense pact in Pyongyang. Kim has supplied weapons and thousands of troops for Putin's war in Ukraine.
There is a real value to having the three of them together face to face, isn't there?
It's crucial to be in the same room. Just that idea, here we are, against the West, and the West is doing terrible things, and we're going to undermine them. I think that brings them together, kind of bonds them in many different ways.
For Putin, Kim provides vital military support. For Kim, it's cash and validation. And now, a rare seat at the table with two of the world's nuclear superpowers appearing together in public for the first time. And looming over all three, U.S. President Donald Trump. He's been praising the strongmen for years.
Putin, very smart. President Xi is
a brilliant man. How smart is Kim Jong-un?
Today, the stakes go far beyond flattery. With trade, Ukraine, and nukes causing tension, Xi, Putin, and Kim are closing ranks. Their shared mission: chip away at Washington's dominance, challenge the U.S.-led order that has defined global power for decades.
Wouldn't you love to be, Aaron, a fly on the wall when they're behind closed doors having conversations about Donald Trump, who they've all met individually? You know, what pressure points does he respond to? What's he going to do next? I don't think they even know what Trump's going to do next. I'm not sure that Trump himself knows. And so that unpredictability almost certainly is going to be a topic of discussion behind the scenes as they all prepare to stand together, remarkably, on the very same stage for the first time, Aaron.
I mean, it's remarkable that it's for the first time. I hadn't realized that. It's truly incredible. And just to imagine what it would be like to be there and to hear that. All right. Thank you so much, Will. And thanks so much to all of you. AC 360 starts now.
Tonight on 360, the president said he had the emergency power to impose tariffs by executive order. But now a federal appeals court says no. And tonight, what the CDC chief's firing and RFK Jr.'s oversight mean for the agency and, crucially, the health of every American. And later, a New Orleans guitarist remembers Katrina and the healing power music